So Identity Crisis is a 2004 DC Comics miniseries. It's an 8-issue tale featuring the Justice League of America and its family members and close friends. The book is a murder mystery that explores the idea of the thin line between hero and villain, betrayal and death. Now, the series has been controversial with some readers thanks to the violent sexual assault and murder of popular character Sue Dibny, wife of Ralph Dibny, the elongated man. But also, the series is praised for its attention to comics history and for being an engaging murder mystery. So what we thought we'd do today is try and break it down for you. So if you've not read the arc, then maybe it'll motivate you to go and do so. And if you have, well, let's just celebrate the best and some of the worst aspects of this crazy storyline. So with this in mind, I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and this is DC Comics' Identity Crisis, the full story. Number 9. The players, the premise, and the stage. Identity Crisis took place in the then-present and starred members of the Justice League of America. Members of the Justice Society play significant roles, and practically every hero team in the DC universe is mentioned or depicted in some artwork. The story centers around the Justice League members that were active in the Satellite era. They were the Atom, Black Canary, Elongated Man, Green Arrow, Hawkman, and Zatanna, plus the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern and Wally West Flash. Minus Kyle and Wally are hiding a secret from years ago that involves the violent sexual assault of Sue Dibny by the villain Dr. Light. Light claims that this is just the beginning, as he knows all of their identities and every loved one that he can torture and murder. The team, along with Hal Jordan's Green Lantern and Barry Allen's Flash, elect to have Zatanna not only wipe Dr. Light's memories, but to make him less of a threat. The team hangs back after Sue's funeral, while all the other heroes start to search the world for clues because they suspect that the person behind the murder is none other than Light himself. When word that they are after him gets back to Light, he goes looking for protection. Number 8. The murder of Sue Dibny. In Opal City, Ralph Dibny was out on a stakeout with Firehawk to potentially thwart the sale of a Lex Luthor battlesuit. Across town, Sue Dibny was preparing the annual mystery surprise for Ralph's birthday. She receives a call and begins to seize in pain. She manages to contact Ralph just as an unseen assailant burned her body horribly. Ralph got there and cradled her dead body as he melted in despair. His present then got knocked open, with it being revealed that Sue had been pregnant, meaning that Ralph would have been a father. In the captions from Green Arrow, we learned that since his and Superman's deaths, plans, contingencies, and an organizational structure has been put in place. Various heroes with certain specialities were called in to check the crime scene for clues and means of an entrance, and bypass the extensive security that the house had. After the funeral, where Ralph is too distraught to speak, Captain Atom organizes all of the heroes into teams to go and check on villains who might have likely committed the crime, those with fire-based powers, teleporters, or those with personal grudges against the League or Elongated Man specifically. Ralph believed he knew who did it and asked his closest League teammates to help him find Dr. Light. Number 7. The League within the League. 6 members of the League hung back after the heroes all take off to pursue various possible foes who may have killed Sue Dibny. As the group discussed a plan of action, they realized that they were being watched by Kyle Rayner and Wally West, the current Green Lantern and Flash. They insisted the heroes tell them what's going on. Ralph recounted the horrible night where Sue was on the JLA satellite alone, looking at the stars, and Dr. Light got in. He attacked, beat, and brutally sexually assaulted Sue. The heroes returned to discover Light in the act and viciously beat him down. Zatanna wiped his memory of the event so he couldn't brag about it, but Hawkman suggested that they do more. He suggested that they alter Light's mind to make him less of a threat. Zatanna went through with this plan, making Light weaker and turning him into an absolute buffoon. Light appeared on the old Secret Society satellite and begged for somebody to help him against the League. The heroes go to Light's home and are met with an explosion that immediately knocks Ralph out, as he was the closest to the building. They find that Light has succeeded to hire the best assassin on Earth, Deathstroke, the Terminator. Number 6. Dr. Light remembers. During his autopsy, Dr. Midnight had discovered that Dr. Light hadn't actually killed Sue Dibny, but that information had not reached the League in time. Deathstroke was ready for their attack and systematically took down each Leaguer in fairly rapid and ingenious ways. Slade paused to get into a battle of wits with Kyle while he was crushing his ring hand. Oliver takes the opportunity to jam an arrowhead into Wilson's blind eye, and Deathstroke changes from controlled to chaotic, and the newly freed League then dogpiles on Slade. Watching the fight triggers a memory and power return to Dr. Light. He uses a blinding flash to knock out the League and escape with Deathstroke. They awaken to find Superman standing over them. He tells them that Light is innocent. Flash interrogates Green Arrow further and reveals a time when 5 members of the secret society of supervillains switched bodies with 5 members of the League. They mind-wiped them, and apparently it had happened again at least a dozen of times. It's also discovered that the Sue Dibney murder was not an isolated incident. Jean Loring, lawyer and ex-wife to Ray Palmer, aka the Atom, is attacked in her own home. Loring is hung from a noose over the door, but she manages to place a call to Palmer before the noose tightens. Number 5. Who benefits? The Atom rushed through the phone line to save his ex-wife's life. They are soon joined by Arrow, Superman, and Mr. Miracle, who can't find any clues to how the League's security was breached again without leaving a trace. Superman did recognize the knot, and Oracle identified it as the trademark for the villain's Slipknot. Wonder Woman interrogated him with her lasso of truth, but Slipknot didn't know anything. The only connection between the suspects so far is that they were both on the Suicide Squad. While this has been going on, Batman had been conducting his own investigation. He had already dismissed the Suicide Squad connection. For him, this mystery, truly any mystery, was solved by determining who benefits most from the outcome. Bruce noticed that it was the significant others of the heroes that were currently benefiting most, as the heroes were now hyper-focused on keeping those closest to them safe. Lois Lane was extremely concerned for her husband, not his physical state obviously, but Lois knew that Superman wasn't invulnerable of being afraid that he can't save everyone. As she considered that thought, she opened an anonymous piece of mail that said that they know Clark's secret and that she would be the next target. Number 4. Death of a father. The superhero community then becomes much more aggressive in their pursuit of the killer after Lois's death threat. The villains were becoming scared and desperate. While attacking the Shadow Thief, Firestorm was killed when the thief grabbed the Shining Knight sword and punctured Firestorm's body. The nuclear hero then flew into the sky and exploded. Meanwhile, Ray Palmer and Jean Loring had been spending all of their time together, and their romance began to rekindle. Tim Drake began spending more and more time with his father Jack and less time as Robin, although he felt guilty and went out to help the Titans look for the killer. As Tim left, Jack found a box with a note and a gun inside. Flash villain Captain Boomerang had fallen on hard times and couldn't get work. He had been begging his friend the Calculator for any job and for help finding his son, Owen Mercer. Calculator came through with Owen first, and Digger showed his son how to throw his trick boomerangs. Calculator also came through with a job to kill Jack Drake. Captain Boomerang entered the house and Jack called Tim. Batman and Robin rushed to the house, but they heard a shot. Jack had killed Digger, but not before a razor-sharp boomerang hit Jack in the chest, and it turned out that Digger had also left a message for Owen. Number 3. A Batman betrayed. Now here some people began to breathe a sigh of relief because they believed that Boomerang was the killer that they were all looking for. Many of the heroes were spending time with their loved ones and staying close to home. The Suicide Squad was released from custody since there was no reason to hold them any longer. Owen Mercer took up his father's mantle of Captain Boomerang, but Batman, however, continued to investigate. Flash confronted Green Arrow, asking why he saw 8 people in the memory flash that they all experienced when Dr. Light recovered his memories. Arrow explained that Batman had come up on the teleporter as they were mind-wiping Light, and he was going to stop them, so they had to also mind-wipe the Caped Crusader as well to make him forget those few minutes. They did, and Batman was none the wiser. Still performing his autopsy of Sue Dibney, Dr. Midnight, now assisted by Mr. Terrific, had found that Sue died from an infraction of the brain. Whilst doing a microscopic scan of Sue's brain, Peter was shocked to find that the cause of the infraction were 2 tiny footprints on her brain. Somebody with the ability to change their size had stood on Sue's brain and then killed her. Number 2. The murderer revealed. When news of Sue's brain scan was discovered, Jean Loring began asking Ray Palmer about evidence that she had no way of knowing unless she was actually directly involved. Jean admitted that she donned the Atom suit and attacked Sue to scare her, not to kill her. When she saw what she did, she burned Sue's body to cover her tracks. Her intention was to get the heroes to rally around their loved ones, just as Batman had deduced. Jean recanted the details coldly and matter-of-factly, as if reading a recipe. Ray was screaming at her about how terrible everything she did, and she dismissed his feelings. Jean acted as if it was a good idea and that she was his wife and wouldn't do anything against her. Realizing that she had gone way too far, Ray took her to Arkham Asylum. He then sank away, out of sight, in despair. Life for the heroes then returned to relative normality. Wally was unsure of how to talk to Batman, knowing what he knew now. Green Arrow mused about how the League always endures, and lastly, Ralph was seen getting ready for bed as he was talking about his date to Sue, even though she was no longer there. And number 1, Ramifications. There was definite fallout from the actions of this storyline. Batman did eventually remember the events of the night of Sue Dibney's attack, and the fact that his teammates and friends, especially Zatanna, would do this to him made him feel very distrustful and distant from the other heroes. It also caused Bruce to create the Brother Mark I satellite, which eventually became Brother Eye, and created the OMAX. Catwoman also suspected that her personality shift from villain to Batman's ally might have not been her own choice, and then confronted Zatanna. This entire situation caused the villain community to become organized in a way like never before. Rogues began to fear the possibility of being mind-wiped, and they began looking for ways to band together. This opened the door for Lex Luthor to create the Society, which organized nearly every villain into one large army, except for the Secret Six, who violently refused Luthor's offer. The distrust, anger, and hurt feelings ultimately caused the Justice League to fall apart, much to Green Arrow's anger. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman came together later to rebuild the League from the bottom up, but the new League came together with all the heroes who battled Solomon Grundy for the body of Red Tornado. And there we go, my friends. That was DC Comics' Identity Crisis, the full story. I hope that you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Twitter at RetroJ, but the O is a 0, and it'd be great to chat to you over there. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Hope that you are treating yourself well with love and respect, my friend. You deserve all the best things in life, and don't let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise, alright? You are a massive ledge. Now go out there and absolutely smash your life goals today. Big love to you. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.